They didn't argue with me. They didn't raise their voices. They didn't even look angry. That's what made it hurt more. When someone yells, at least you know where you stand. But when they smile while pushing you aside, you realize they've already decided your place. Just for a while, my sister-in-law said, standing in the living room with her arms crossed, the basement would be better for you. Better. I looked around the room. The couch my father had bought. The walls he painted himself. The ceiling he once stood on a ladder to fix, while I held it steady below. This house wasn't just bricks and wood to me. It was memory. It was sacrifice. My brother stayed silent. He kept staring at his phone, like none of this concerned him. Everyone else acted like this was reasonable, like I should be grateful they were even letting me stay. So I nodded. I picked up my bag, and I walked downstairs. They thought that was the end of it. They didn't know I still held the property papers. The basement was cold, unfinished, and dim. A single light bulb hung from the ceiling, flickering slightly. The walls smelled of dust and old paint. This wasn't a room meant for living. It was meant for storage. For things people didn't need, but weren't ready to throw away. Apparently, that's what I had become. Lying on the narrow bed that first night, I stared at the ceiling and listened to footsteps above me. Laughter. A TV show. Plates clinking. Life continuing without me. I didn't cry. I didn't feel angry yet. I felt something worse. Invisible. Years earlier, when my father became ill, no one else wanted to deal with it. My brother lived out of state. He had his own life, his own responsibilities. I understood that, so I stayed. I canceled plans, turned down opportunities, and moved back into the house to take care of Dad full-time. Doctor visits, late-night pain, medications, silent mornings when he was too weak to speak. I was there for all of it. One night, when his breathing was shallow and his voice barely above a whisper, he asked me to bring a folder from the drawer. "This house," he said slowly, "will be yours." I told him it wasn't necessary. That family was family. He shook his head. "You stayed. You sacrificed. Promise me you won't let anyone take this from you." I promised. The paperwork was done quietly, legally, cleanly. No arguments. No announcements. My father didn't want conflict between his children. He trusted me to handle it with dignity. After the funeral, my brother suggested we all live together. He said it would help us heal. I believed him. That was my mistake. At first, things were fine. We shared meals. We talked about old memories. I thought maybe we were becoming a family again. Then slowly, things shifted. Decisions were made without asking me. Furniture was moved. Renovations were planned. Bills were paid as if the house belonged to someone else. My room became temporary. My opinions became unnecessary. My presence became awkward. Until one day, they told me about the basement. Living downstairs changed everything. I started eating alone. Conversation stopped when I entered a room. My brother spoke to me politely, but with distance. Like you talk to someone you don't really care about, but don't want to feel guilty ignoring. At night, I heard conversations I wasn't meant to hear. Plans. Laughing. Confidence. One evening, I heard my sister-in-law on the phone. She didn't know I was listening from the stairs. "The market is perfect right now," she said. "Once we sell the house next year, we'll finally upgrade." Sell the house. My house. That night, I went back to the basement and opened an old locked suitcase. Inside was a metal folder, worn at the edges. Certified copies. Official stamps. Legal proof. My name. I sat there for a long time, holding the papers in my hands. I didn't feel powerful. I felt calm. They had mistaken my silence for weakness. A week later, they invited relatives over for dinner. The house was full of voices and confidence. My sister-in-law talked proudly about future plans. My brother laughed louder than usual. I waited. After dessert, when everyone was relaxed, I stood up. "I need to say something," I said. The room went quiet. "I've been thinking about my situation here," I continued calmly, "and about this house." I placed the documents on the table. "This property belongs to me." Someone laughed. thinking it was a joke. Then my brother picked up the papers. His hand started shaking. "This is real," he whispered. The silence that followed was heavy. Accusations came quickly. Anger, shock, denial. "You planned this. You tricked us. You humiliated us." I didn't raise my voice. "I slept in the basement," I said, "in my own house. I listened to everything. I said nothing." No one could argue with the truth. The relatives left early. That night, no one slept. Within weeks, they moved out, not because I forced them, but because living under the truth was harder than leaving. Later, I renovated the basement, added light, warmth, turned it into a place of peace. Not because I needed to forget, but because I needed to remember. Never confuse kindness with weakness. Never mistake silence for ignorance. Sometimes, the person sleeping in the basement is the true owner of the house.